Good evening, Alderman Williams,
Here.
Alderman Robinson,
Here.
Alderwoman Melton,
Here.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Here.
Alderwoman Artis,
Here.
Alderwoman Carter,
Here.
Alderman Holt.
Here.
We have quorum to conduct city business.
Before we go pledge, Lieutenant Thompson, you served in the military, correct?
No,
You didn't, you right here?
I was overseas, but with the
Oh,
new
we're
year.
gonna stand, for pledge allegiance, action allegiance and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we adopt the agenda, I would like to honor, families, victims, of 9/11, with a moment of silence. Thank you. Just like I saying, motion to adopt the agenda.
So
Motion by Alderman Artis, is there a second. Second by Alderman Williams, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Item E, move for motion to approve the minutes, August 14th, 2023, regular session.
So
Motion by Alderman Williams, is there a second. Second by Alderman Melton, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Item F, looking for a motion to approval of warrants for August 23, September 2023, amount of $172,553.41.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Johnson, is there a second? Second by Alderman Williams. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. We'll go to a mayor report. Few items. This Thursday, we have this historic grand opening of our R&R Marketplace, which is the old Springwood Plaza. There was a mail that was sent out today. Well, I'm going to receive each resident will receive a mailer. But I want the community to come out in strong numbers, to show our support of this project. And as we know, this is a project that's like no other, not just in county, but just in the state of Missouri. And we're just really should be blessed and proud that this project is in our town. And I think we should show it as a community in strong numbers. Asking all residents to come out, next to the board, if you're available, please come out, be a part of this event. It will be this Thursday, 9 a.m. at the Springwood, at the R&R Marketplace. Sorry, I gotta stop saying that. R&R Marketplace this Thursday at 9 a.m. I suggest you do it early. They're expecting a lot of people. We expect a lot of people that support this project, spiritually as well as financially. And so there are going to be a lot of people there in this celebration. So we got a few residents that's speaking. You know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They changed the agenda.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they moved that portion of it.
Okay. So they get some residents, and I'll be giving them a welcome. They'll get some other community members to speak as well. And so I look forward to this event. So again, if you can be there Thursday at 9 o'clock, it'll be a great event. Also, this past Thursday, Thursday, we had a great event with Ameren Inspire. We used the rec center to help with utility assistance. And we served almost 500 individuals with helping with utilities. I think the total amount of funds that will be allocated is over 300,000. And so they're very impressed with the numbers. They did some other events in other communities, and they draw near the numbers that we drew that day. And so they definitely want to come back and, serves this area. So we look forward to doing that anytime we can help individuals. As we know, the summer, the air conditioning is running pretty hard, for at least 2 weeks there. And, anytime we can give people some assistance or some help, I think it's a good thing. So, hats off to Aaron, Inspired, and Castle, for making it been possible, at the Red Zone. And also, generally, I just want to give a thanks to, I said it before, to this board of Alderman. There's a lot of things that are coming up in 2023 and some things in 2024 that has taken a while to come to fruition. But it looks like they're all coming one by one and right behind each other. We got this grand opening Thursday, that the city building is going to be coming right behind that one. And there's still a plaza being built across the street. It's going to start to build across the street from the old sweet pies and the West Pie meeting with the West Florissant people this week. And so there's a timeline set for the West Florissant project, which will be starting out, in 2024. So there's a lot of things that are taking place in this community, and definitely it couldn't be done. It takes leadership, but also it takes the support, and legislative support of this board. And I just want to thank this board because there are some other different communities that are now having some difficulties, not secrets. And some that you even know about because not in the media. There's a lot of cities that are fighting. And believe me, I know as I talk to mayors, I talk to council people, and those people aren't getting anything done. Those residents are very upset about it. So the fact that we're able to work together as one and get things done, we should be the best that we have that kind of board. So I just want to thank you for not just supporting me, but supporting the residents and supporting the vision that the administration sets. We don't always agree, we don't know that. There's some things that we don't agree with sometimes, but it happens, you take credit at different times. And that's the way it works out. And so I just want to thank the board and just, again, just thank you for everything you've done. So with that, we'd like to go into any board announcements.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Johnson.
since you're into your feelings this evening, I would like to take the opportunity also to express feelings. I'm sure the board would sentiment the same. We appreciate your leadership as well. We could not have come this long. It's like we've had all these dreams and we're seeing them come to reality. And with this opening, which is a really big deal, as you just stated, that it's been a long time. It's been a whole decade. And even before that, trying to get businesses there. So to see it happening now and then to see the impact of what's going on in that space, that means even more. So we're proud of that. We're proud of you too. And thank you as well.
Chairman,
Alderman Carter.
yes, I'd like to echo what Alderman Johnson said as well. Just super proud to be a part of the city and you and our leadership, Mayor. And just wanted to make an announcement that Alderman Hall and myself will be having an award for Unity in the Park. So if you're a part of Ward 4, we would like you to come out and be free food, fun for the whole Ward 4 community. And we thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to move forward with their vision of doing something for Ward 4 this Saturday, September the 16th, from 11 to 2. So come out if you're in Ward 4 at Nikolai Park. Yes. And the mailers went out on Friday. Hopefully they might be in the mailbox today or tomorrow. You see it? Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Any other board announcements? Now we're going to item new business. City Administrator Report, Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. I echo everything everybody else said. I wouldn't be able to be the man that I am in the position that you all trusted me to be in without your support and the mayor's support and the support of the community. So thank you so much. It's been a busy month. I'm just going to run through it real quick. August 8th, we had a CDBG monitoring visit from St. Louis County. They met with myself and Gainell. It was a very positive visit. We got some tips on filing and things of that nature, and so we're definitely prepared for anything they throw at us. Won't you agree, Gainell?
Yes.
August 22nd, we had a stormwater observation from MSD and Missouri Department of Conservation. And I want to send kudos to our Public Works Department because they did an excellent job. Once I gave the details, they executed. And so our observation from MSD and the Missouri Department of Conservation, we passed with flying colors. So the mayor will be getting that letter of confirmation probably in the next couple of weeks. And so they do that observation every 4 years. So you all should be very proud that we had no findings. So the paperwork and everything was all in place. Shout out to Gainell for that as well, helping me with that as well. August 24th, I attended the legislative roundtable that was held at Florissant City Hall. I got an opportunity to hear what's going on in Jeff City from most of the North County state representatives. We had one senator there. There was a notable group of mayors, city administrators, and managers. So that was an opportunity for us to all come together and talk about the issues that are going on locally that need to be talked about in Jeff City. And so they're planning to have more of those, and that was just the first step. So I was glad to be a part of that. Also, just an update, the park grant was submitted successfully. We should be hearing about it in October. I feel very positive about it. I'm just as confident as Deion Sanders in Colorado. we should be all right. Also, be on the lookout. Gainell will probably send you out an email because we need to set a date for our tax rate public hearing. So we need to have that done by the end of this month, actually. So be looking out for a email on the dates for the hearing on the tax rate, set tax rate for 2024. And with that, everything is great in the city of Dellwood.
Any questions from Administrator?
Yes,
Alderman Johnson.
Mr. Wilson.
Mhm.
What kind of issues were brought up at that meeting that you attended, coming from the North County legislative level?
A lot of conversation was around the land banking legislation for St. Louis County to have a land bank. You know, St. Louis City has a land bank, but St. Louis County doesn't. And that addresses a lot of vacant properties that are around. And so they're trying to push for stronger legislation around it. And they also talked about gun control. They talked about dealing with the youth, because there's a disconnect between the juvenile justice system and the regular justice system. A lot of people think Western Bill has something to do with the juveniles that are out here getting in trouble, but it's a totally separate court, everything. So, you know, they're trying to figure out how we kind of bridge the gap on that. Because a lot of the rules were made for in the 50s, in the 60s. You know, we're dealing with a different youth now. And so a lot of that was talked about. But it's just more unity amongst the municipalities and things like that, making sure we're beating to the same drum and talking to the folks that need to be talked to in Jeff City on the same note. So that's what the whole sentiment was after.
Which senator was that?
Senator Mosley was there. Yeah, Senator Mosley. Senator Brian Williams had a prior engagement, so he was.
Questions? Item B, police report, Lieutenant Thompson.
Again, good evening, everyone. Okay, for the month of August, we had 29 alarm calls, 2 assault reports, 3 accidental injuries, excuse me, 21 auto accidents, 5 burglary reports, 10 calls for check the welfare, 11 disturbances, 9 stolen vehicles, 8 larceny reports, 1 missing person, 1 missing juvenile, 3 open door calls, 14 property damage, 43 sick cases, 13 suspicious persons, 12 calls for shots heard, 20 suspicious vehicles, 745 traffic violations were written, and 129 parking violations, the 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. parking. 8 911 hang-up calls, which brought us to a total of 525 calls for service.
Any questions, Lieutenant?
Is that a,
Alderman Artis.
is that a record that's traffic violation? 129.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
We did 700 or something last month, so no.
What's about the parking violation?
That's up and down.
Yeah.
It depends. When people got company, they just let them park on the street overnight, and when we get them, we get them.
I mean, what's the state?
129.
Alderman Williams.
Yes, sir.
I understand there was a car stolen off of North Shooter and recovered on South Shooter. Do you have any information?
I don't have that with me, no. But yeah, that did happen. And,
Last week.
right, it was, this is one of them situations where they use it was a Dodge, and they're using the key fobs now. You know, you can get, in the Dodges, you can get in, and it's a switch next to the gear shift. You can hit that button, put it in gear, and unlock the steering wheel. They'll push it so far, and they put like a computer, like when you go get the computer check, when people, you got check engine light, they still plug that thing in. They can plug that into that item and program a key fob to that car. It takes about a minute to do. And once they program, they start it up and drive it off. They didn't get the key fob programmed. That's how they were still pushing. And they just decided to leave it. They ran off.
Did they catch anybody?
No, the car was parked in the middle of the street. Yeah, so.
Help us.
I'm sorry. Neighborhood Watch.
Neighborhood Watch, the DEA was there, and they talked about the drugs of choice in the area, St. Louis area, which is not Norcan. That's what we use. Fentanyl. Fentanyl is what a lot of people is ODing on, and they're lacing. Cocaine is getting back out. Crack cocaine is getting popular again, and they're lacing it with fentanyl, which is, it can kill. You know, they take that, you know, they can die from it. And so they was, you know, talking about the different things and, you know, the different drugs. Marijuana, of course, you know, it's legal now, but only to a certain amount. You know, if you got over a certain amount, it becomes illegal. You can't have a trunk with marijuana, you know. So that's gonna be illegal. Huh? Well, they didn't never say the amount, but I mean, you can't have like a Kroger sack full of marijuana walking around. We can get that and charge you with it. You know, just a little small package that you go to the little marijuana shops and buy. That's about as legal as it's gonna get.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. I do want to mention, I think last week was National Overdose Awareness Day, and our very own resident, Mr. Ellis Fitzwalton, and his wife have really become leaders on effort, not just in Dellwood, in North County, but starting to be regional, looks like.
Amen.
And they were featured on Channel 5 as far as, you know, their experience with their son and how they form their group. So I just want to thank you for your service, not just to this area and your commitment to trying to make sure there's no more overdoses. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And our main focus, even was still in the Lamar County area.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere far.
Gotcha. Parks Recreation, Michelle.
Hello. So for the month of August, we had 15 park rentals, 12 rec center rentals with a total of 27 rentals. We still have boxing twice a week. We have back to school skate festival where we handed out over 200 book bags with supplies. We partner with the fire department and Queen Outreach. Our last summer concert was moved inside due to the heat advisory. And the Redbird rookies, they also have a $10,000 scholarship for eighth graders that played in the season last year for leadership. All of the players have been emailed out. If they have not, they can also sign up for that scholarship on the Redbirds rookies website as well.
Any questions? Thank you. Alderman Johnson.
Where is Sean Wilson?
We discussed that. We will discuss that. With the report though, I do want to, talk about, the parks have been rented in record numbers this year. Don't know why necessarily. I mean, we have some nice parks, but I mean, we have some weekends where it's all three rented Saturday, all three rented Sunday. You know, and that tradition hasn't been the case. So just know park rentals are up. Public Works done a great job keeping up with that. It's a lot to keep up with. We have 3 large parks, and we're down a person in Public Works. And so we're doing the best job we can, but we have a lot of park rentals. Okay, we're gonna go to item D, sign permits. I'm gonna look for approval. I'm gonna do the first 3 together. Look for approval to do the African hair braiding, show me sound of wheels, and the zone approval for sign permits. Motion made by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Williams. Any discussion?
Yes.
Alderman Milton. Alderman Milton.
I just see that safety inspection had failed. I'm not seeing unless it's part on the inspection results, meaning that they returned and done the inspection. And pertaining to the electricity being out in half of the building.
Where's that?
Storm, or something, whatever.
Yeah, research on 97.
Roll call.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton,
Yes.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter, Alderman Holt. Motion passed.
Thank you. These next 3 are all pertaining to the R&R Marketplace. Captain's Kitchen, 10198 West Forest, Employed St. Louis, 10194 West Forest, North County Innovation Center, 10174 West Forest. Motion to approve sign permits. Motion made by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderwoman Artis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton, Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter,
Yes.
Alderman Holt.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, we have one resolution, and just kind of bring you up to speed. On this resolution, man, a couple years ago, we received a grant from East West Gateway for a van. And we were awarded the van, probably was pre-COVID, matter of fact, it was that long ago. And it just, this process was just dragged on and on and on. And so we re-engaged the process, and we should be getting it early next year. But in order now, it wants to pass a new resolution in order to get the ban. So this is your resolution 62023. So this time looking for a motion to adopt resolution 62023.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Johnson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Williams, any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton, Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis.
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter.
Yes.
Alderman Holt. Motion passed.
Yes. Alderman Arts.
I was just thinking about the rise and the COVID situation. Are we gonna address that yet or wait?
We haven't had any plans at this moment.
Okay.
We can discuss that. But haven't yet. Item K, this is public portion. If you have any public comments, please state your name, address, and public comment.
Ellis Fitzwalter, 7 South Schluter. First, I want to thank, the board and the city and the mayor for giving the support that is giving our nonprofit and doing events here. We had our best blood drive on August 24th that we've had in so far. And thanks for letting, use the rec center. DEA Take Back Day is coming up again. We'd like to once again use the parking lot like we have and, just several DEA Take Back Days, if that's okay. I have already spoken to Lieutenant Thompson and the co-op is on board to provide the law enforcement if the board approves. The only other thing I've got is, I guess, a question for Lieutenant Thompson. Yesterday, we had somebody ringing our doorbell with a backpack. We weren't there. But I also saw later ring reports that day, later on in the night, that these couple of people have been ringing doorbells all the way up as far as Elizabeth. And one of her neighbors across the other day had somebody coming up, rang their doorbell and was asking for money. I think the police were called on that. Now, I do have ring footage of who, not rang our doorbell. I'm just wondering if that's a trend we're starting to see, people coming around begging door to door now instead of just the street corners, or?
Well, I'll let Lieutenant Thompson talk to you probably after me.
Okay.
There's a guy that rang my doorbell asking to use my phone.
Yeah.
One day, and I wasn't at home. I was, I can do it from my phone.
Right.
My wife is at the store, but she works from home. And so I talked to the guy through the phone, and he walked away immediately. But that was just weird that somebody would ask that. And I said, yeah, come on in, use me.
Yeah.
Right.
So, people are trying anything these days. Lieutenant, is it a trend or you just?
It's not a trend, it's something that may be something that's new and starting, but my suggestion is don't let nobody in your house if you don't know them. And if someone ringing your doorbell, any strangers, contact the police.
As a matter of fact, this came up too because the water company is coming around. She got a letter from the water company that's going to be checking the pipes, and we had a meeting with them here, and he turned the table. My main concern with them is they knock on people's doors. They don't know you. They want them to come and look in your basement and look at it. And I told them, make sure the letters came out first so that people were aware. And so I told them, please do not go out and start knocking on doors until those letters came out and be identified. So, so I told them there might be a little challenge for them getting into some of these homes, but they've been made aware of that. But it's just the towns we're living in.
Right.
Out of caution. That's what we have to be.
Yeah, and we had received our letter, and they actually asked you to call to make the appointment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're supposed to knock the doors. They told us.
Well, they said they were doing some canvassing too.
Yeah, they're doing campus as well. Yeah, so they say most of the homes won't need the repairs, but maybe about 10% may.
Yeah.
And so just hopefully won't be a lot of that need your city.
Right. Yeah, I know we were good, so. Thank you.
They should have some ID or something, shouldn't they, or uniform?
Yeah, it's gonna be identified.
And they also driving a vehicle with a,
Missouri.
Yeah.
with the logo, company's logo.
Did you get a picture of that backpack person? Cause I've seen backpack people, guys too.
Yeah, I've got-
I even know a couple.
Yeah, I've got footage of it.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
You know, they're heavy in my area.
Right.
The back, were they on foot or a bike?
Yeah, they were on foot, and it looked like it came from the south, from the south, because it looked like they were at our one neighbor's house, from what I saw, and it looked like he probably had a number one saw splitter, so. And I'll show you the picture.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Trina Clark, 71 South Floridale. Is it possible to get, I see the signs in Ferguson that says slow down, they'll stick in the ground. And I would be willing to have a speed limit sign put in my yard. I don't think these people know what the speed limit is on a residential street. One person that I challenged about speeding, because he was cutting along, he goes, well, it's 35 miles an hour. And I'm like, no, it's not. So my neighbor's speed, and I don't know what to say other than love one. I almost took the sign out of the Ferguson lawn and brought it back to my neighborhood. It's just
We do have some signs, so I'll try to identify those.
yeah.
Several, actually.
Did say slow down? Needs to be a much.
And they don't read those signs either.
Well, I'm willing to try anything other than that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dorothy Freeze, 10512 Trans Drive. Just one question, which they stopped, but isn't they cannot collect money? I'm collecting money, people in their uniforms collecting money. Okay, they're starting to collect it at the corner of West Florissant and Chambers. It was yesterday morning, I saw it.
I made Lieutenant aware of that.
I knew it, I was bringing it to the attention, seeing it.
The officers know that they see that to stop, and they have stopped several.
Yeah.
People who pass.
Okay, I mean, nothing else, I just seen it, and I figure they're stopping it. And then also, I know you're working on it, but still, at the corner of Hudson and Tanner, you took down the basketball thing, but the cars, I know it's a rental house, but it's still a nuisance.
You are aware. Any other comments? Now, continue motion to adjourn.
So,
Motion, artist, second, Alderman Johnson, discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
October 28th.
Hi, how are you? Good. Good to see you. How did I skip you? I'll make sure I go next.
You do Williams, then you skip.
I do.
You know,
I
everybody, when they all start looking like.
I see. I'll do it.
Everybody acting out, it looks like, what's going on down there?
I see. I'll put it in order.
I just,
No. Thank you. Hey, how are you? I know. You pray for her? My phone rang at 8 o'clock this morning. So my mother's house. Yeah, so I don't get here.
You stop.
It says and it's stop it.
Oh. still going.
Or do I need to come over?